Hey guys, welcome back to the Bucket Think Tank. Another on Rapid Fire comic book reviews, and we're going to get right into it with Nightwing issue 92, or as I call it, finally, this book is doing something. Alright, so our story opens up with a flashback of Batman, Batgirl, and Robin dealing with the day-to-day chaos of Gotham City. This is a big one. Looks like a riot/gang war, and one of the shop owners is about to be attacked by a bunch of criminals, and Batman can't help Robin in time. Batgirl can't get there in time. Robin's like, I can't wait. I gotta go help. So he goes, balim, and he goes down there to be all boy wonder. And, he helps the guy, but then he gets the stuffing beaten out of him. Batgirl is able to get there just in time to stop him from presumably getting killed. But luckily, before it gets worse, Alfred shows up like the boss he is, scaring away the criminals, making him think he's Batman. He's like, it's gonna be all right. At the end of it, Bruce comes down looking all intense and whatnot. It's like, he deliberately disobeyed me. And Alfred's like, hold on right there. All right? So, if you're going to go in there, you're going to take all that off, check your anger at the door, check your disapproval at the door, and go tend to that boy the way he needs to be tended to. All right? If you're going to go in there, and if you're not, you ain't going in there. All right? And if you got a problem, you got to go through me. All right? So, come on. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? And of course, because it's Alfred, Batman takes the cowl off and he decides to be the dad that Dick Grayson needs. Which honestly, I don't think that's what needs to happen. I think the question is, Batman does need a moment to compose himself. And because I think he's also just in part worried. Alright, he is really concerned. He thinks the best way to keep them safe on this dangerous, mission is that they always follow his orders. And this is an example of it, of him being right about that. But that's not what Dick needs to hear. Dick needs to hear that he wasn't wrong for what he did. To which Bruce says, you weren't wrong for wanting to save people, but you're going to have to learn you can't save everyone. To Dick Grayson's response is, I can try. And that sums up Dick Grayson's character. If Dick Grayson sees a problem, sees someone in trouble, he's going to try to help. That's one of his greatest traits. Now, in the present day, we're sort of reveal of the Alfred Pennyworth Foundation, whatnot, which I don't even remember what it's actually called. Bruce shows up like, I'm just here to see and help if need be. Dick says, look, it's okay. I've got, the Flash and the Titans. The Flash is circling the city at speeds too fast for anyone to see. Bruce is like, I know he's out there. I'm Batman. And then we see the statue of Alfred Pennyworth, and Bruce is like, I don't think he'd appreciate the statue. He's not really that kind of person to be, he's not really comfortable with that sort of thing. But Dick says it's not really for Alfred so much as it's for us. And then it's all interrupted by Blockbuster, and Dick Grayson's half-sister, who we keep forgetting was the thing. She was the big hook of the beginning of this book, and now she's just sort of like, I'm here. My reveal really meant nothing. I could have just been Dick Grayson's ex, and nothing else would have changed. Blockbuster is apparently a big Nightwing Bloodhaven enemy. I don't know, I've recently got a couple of Nightwing trades by Chuck Dixon. I haven't had time to read them. But overall, he's like, yeah, we're going through. And before it can get anything else, Superman shows up to help with the unveiling. And I'm like, okay, so Dick Grayson's by default the most protected superhero right now. Alright, because he's already got what? He's got Batman and by default Batgirl, and presumably the other two Batgirls, Steph and Cass, and he's got Robin, Red Hood, whatever Damian's calling himself now, and the JSA has helped out, the Teen Titans, and now Superman. So what? Where's the tension in this story? What are the stakes? What are the stakes? There's no point. So anyway, that night, a bunch of Blockbuster's goons try to tear down the what Dick Grayson's building here. Luckily, Nightwing and Barbara Gordon, Oracle in this case, are able to go down. They unmask all the thugs going to tear the place up, and have caught their faces on camera. I'm like, okay, a little public shaming for people trying to burn down places set up to help the homeless and the underprivileged children. Yeah, you kind of deserve it. You kind of deserve it. So anyway, Blockbuster feels like the total failure he is, and he's met by Heart Eater or Heart Stealer. Something about taking hearts hey, remember me? I was the big hook for the beginning of Tom Taylor's Nightwing run. Where have I been? No one really knows, but what matters is I'm here now. Let's do this. And that's how the comic ends. So ultimately, I think this issue is the best one so far. Tom Taylor had a great setup, but he's been sort of dragging his feet with whatever story this is supposed to be. The tension is gone from this story. What is Heartstealer going to do that the Teen Titans can't fix, that Batman can't fix, Superman can't fix? What is the point? The tension is gone from this story. Nightwing, like, Tom Taylor has spent these past issues metaphorically jerking off Nightwing. Just has. And it's kind of sad. Like, it's a solid story, but there's nothing of real interest or consequence happening. And that makes for a dull story. All right? If this issue didn't do it, I was going to drop the whole book. Did I say that about issue 91? I think it's about issue 90. But anyway, that's sort of it. Next is Dark Knights of Steel issue 7. 7. Don't look at that. All right, so issue opens up with a nightmare that Bruce is having about the House of L. Kal-El, Kara, and Laura going through, burning everything down. And, even him down, like, really like, brother, no, because, it turns out that Bruce and Kal-El and presumably Kara are half-siblings. And he wakes up, he's greeted by a green dog, and he starts to collapse again, and then a woman says, like, there's something inside him that's making him more sick. And, she's like, we gotta fix that. And meanwhile, at the Kingdom of Storms, Ra's al Ghul says, all right, it's done. I have brought Jefferson Pierce's son back to life. Now, hold on, I gotta tell you right now. All right, everyone knows he's dead. If I bring him, if he goes out in public, they will burn him at the stake, because this is some witchcraft mess we're doing here, all right? This is some Crucible, Inquisition, no, they got no troubles going on here. So, keep it secret, keep it safe. Thanks for telling me about the Titans. I'm going to go deal with that now. And Constantine's like, well, none of that stuff. We can get revenge on the House of L. I'm like, well, hold it. This is all your fault. All right, you had a vision, you didn't understand it, and you told King Jefferson, like, look, I have like a vague possible vision of the House of L killing all of us, all right? I don't quite know what started it. I don't know what the motivation is, but that's what I saw. King Jefferson's like, well, you know what? Best way to stop this is to kill him now. And, this is how this happened. So, big surprise. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And your decision, Constantine, is to double down. All right, I don't feel bad for you. Meanwhile, at the Kent farm, Bruce wakes up. He's feeling better now. He's greeted by the people who helped him, not just Thomas and Martha Kent, but also... That's John and Martha Kent, dear God. I've been watching too much Batman v Superman, and he's met by the girl, like her name's Raven. It's the Teen Titans. It's Raven, Cyborg, Starfire, so by default the dog was Beast Boy. And they aren't fans of Bruce, alright? Because Bruce has spent his entire life hunting down magical creatures, which is just a vague phrase for metahumans. It's really all it is. And, as far as they know, Bruce has been killing them. But Bruce was like, I don't kill any of them. I just lock them away in the bottom of the castle. Alright? No one's been killed. I don't kill. It's not my thing. And, they've been hiding out on the Kent farm, so that's really cool. And, Bruce has still been apprehensive about trusting people with magic, but also, at the same time, Starfire has found the young ward, Dick, or Richard as he's just called here. He's been trying to find Bruce, and you've been being held captive by these demons? And Starfire's like, demons? And I'm like, just about every other story you two bone, so, whatever. It's nice to see there's some change in the status quo here. And it's all interrupted, of course, by the greeting of Talia and Ra's al Ghul. They're here for the Teen Titans, and Bruce is like, I'll deal with the head of the demon, alright? Cyborg's like, no, man, we can help, we can do this. Like, look, I'm sure you can, or whatnot, but this is my issue, I'll deal with it. He's hoping that he can pull the Bruce Wayne card, the House of Wayne card, assert his authority, and they'll go. John and Martha are like, you know what? Hang on. Like we fought in the army, we fought in the war too. We still got our swag. So they go out there, and Bruce goes, all right. So this is on lands by the royal family of L. So you don't have any right to be here. No permission. Move along. And Rachel's like, nah. I'm here for the teenagers. Let's go. This is versus system all over again. Ra's al Ghul League of Assassins versus Teen Titans. You were winning, but what happened? Well, if you're not League of Assassins, you have no affiliation. So, boom, boom, ba-doom. And Ra's al Ghul goes, "God, now the form of man, arise the demon, Etrigan." But luckily, Beast Boy's like, I can turn into any animal I've seen, so I'm a dragon. Boom, and a fight ensues. It's really cool, to be fair. I love it. This seems to be like Bruce's team now, like the Robins and the Teen Titans. I like it. I like it. And, the fight sort of comes to an end, and Bruce is like, so he doesn't quite know what to do. He knows something is coming, but doesn't quite feel that he's the one that should be able to do it. He doesn't feel that, he's what anyone needs. Like, he's made a lot of wrong decisions. He doesn't understand anything anymore. Even his attempt to sort of explain his situation to his brother, his half-brother, ended badly. But luckily, Thomas, John, and Martha are like, well, we raised another boy from another illegitimate family. Part royal ocean boy, part human. And now he's got a big old ego, but he's a good boy. Good lad. It's Aquaman, by the way. So apparently the Kents also raised Arthur Curry. Alright, great. I kind of love it. And that's how the comic ends, as John encourages Bruce, like, you go down there and you help. We're right behind you. This possibly might be one of my favorite issues so far. This also is definitely Tom Taylor's best book for DC right now. His Nightwing is drags his feet. His Superman, Son of Kal-El, is just kind of... No. It's, and I don't use the phrase often, but that book is kind of the definition of a woke story, because every issue it talks about is only mentioned in the vaguest of sense, with no real nuance to any of these complex issues, or even attempt to explain the complex issues. It's just, it's right to be concerned about this, but never to what extent. Dark Knights of Steel has no greater social commentary. It feels like he's trying to write a very sort of vague love letter to Neil Gaiman's Marvel 1602. At least that's what I think. And if you have to pay tribute to anything, 1602 is a great story. The inclusion of the Teen Titans I felt was great. Also on this sort of farm, it's a bit similar to 1602, except in that case it was the X-Men being led around by Professor X, and Jean Grey was pretending to be a boy, and Cyclops was feeling all sort of weird about that, but whatever. Overall, this was fun. We've got 5 more issues of this. I'm looking forward to seeing what other new character comes to play. Will the metahumans underneath the castle be of any use to us? Who knows? Will Martian Manhunter come and make us question everything? Will John Constantine admit that this was all his fault? He definitely won't. And will we be able to stop the Amazons? Who knows? Next up is Flashpoint Beyond issue 2. I can't believe it's only issue 2, but it was like that Omega issue was like, this is a prelude to the story, and that was kind of lame. But anyway, this story opens up with, this reveal that there's a clockwork killer going around killing a bunch of people who in another continuity would be much cooler. There's Nathaniel Adams, Captain Atom. There's a bunch of other time travelers, people who pretty much are similar to Barry Allen, who in another universe, another Earth, would be more interesting. And Thomas can't quite see the connection to it. That connection was nowhere else to go. Oswald points out, so with the casino being gone, not only have you lost your big foothold in the criminal underground, you've also lost a good source of revenue. What are we going to do about that? He doesn't care. Like, what? I really don't care. I've got other stuff to do. I trust you'll fix it. And the kid, Dexter, is freaking everybody out. He's just staring out the window like, I want to learn about explosives. Oswald's like, is that a red flag? Tom is like, well, if he wants to learn about explosions, teach him about explosions. And that's it. I guess a Robin he will not be. Unless it's going to be Jason Todd. At the casino, the commissioner tries to explain, like, hey, there's still some survivors in there, we're trying to get to them. Thomas doesn't care. He picks up a coin. He picks one of the casino coins. He's like, yeah, sure, you do what you want. It doesn't matter. This is because Thomas really doesn't care about what's going on here. He doesn't really care what's going on this Earth. He's trying to figure out what's been going on here, the greater mystery. He knows something else is going on, and no one else can help him. So he gets a clue about the Psycho Pirate. The Psycho Pirate is super interesting, because the Psycho Pirate in DC Comics essentially remembers every time the DC Universe is rebooted. He remembers Crisis on Infinite Earths, he remembers Infinite Crisis, he remembers Final Crisis. Few people remember those events happen because it's the universe going, redo, redo, redo. And yeah, there's a whole thing about that. And he goes to the Psycho Pirate in Arkham Asylum, and he's hung himself, and oh no, oh dear, isn't that sad how that happens? He talks to Gilda finally after reading the clues in the Psycho Pirate's cell, and Gilda's like, yeah, I'm out of seeing something. Let me see that coin. I'm like, oh no, one side of the coin is scratched. There's a duality to me. And all of a sudden, Thomas isn't listening, and he sees Martha. And Martha was out, so the drinking, the cheating, all of it. So apparently, Thomas was not the model husband we'd like to think he was, and he may have been the real reason that Martha went insane. To which Thomas like, that doesn't matter. Really, she's dead. Whatever. Maybe I wasn't perfect. It's done now. And he snaps, breaks the glass. Gilda smashes her head in, or Thomas punched her. I'm not sure. She goes, "It matters to me." And now, like, half her face is horribly scarred because Harvey Dent didn't become Two-Face in this universe. But apparently, like the Flying Dutchman, Gotham City must always have a Two-Face. Duality. And he walks out, and Tom's like, I need to relax and distress. He points out again, his son Bruce was a detective. He's basically the poor man's Punisher, but he's a rich man, and he's getting poorer. So he goes down, sees a mug, and like, fine, this is what it's all. This is simple. I go in, put the fear of God in him, maybe kill someone. I don't know. He goes in, points the gun at him, sees his son, and he's stopped and tackled by the Superman of the Flashpoint universe, the one that had been held captive by the government, got all thin and emaciated, and saw Lois Lane get killed. He's kind of disturbed. Meanwhile, in the main continuity, we talk about the snow globe and how it holds a bunch of tachyon energy, which is used for time travel and whatnot, and it was also designed to sort of counteract the watch that Ozymandias was coming for. Apparently, this was all designed to stop Dr. Manhattan from doing stuff. But since that's been moved, all hell's about to break loose even more. So yeah, that's how this comic ends. Ultimately, Flashpoint Beyond issue 2 is, again, alright. I'm slightly invested in this. The reveal of the Psycho Pirate, that he was here and in some form might be able to help, was interesting. I think last issue was by default, issue 1 was really good. We got to see the real characters of the Flashpoint universe sort of resolving their stories in one form or another. Here, there's really no other character there. Gilda, but who cares about Gilda? Gilda only really mattered in, The Long Halloween. It's kind of it. Seeing where the Time Master subplot comes will be interesting. But overall, nothing of real consequence. And finally, we have Dark Crisis issue 1 finally starting, finally getting its feet on the ground, and pretty much telling us everything we already saw in the Road 2 and Justice League Dark Crisis with some more stuff. Alright, so if you recall, this whole story starts off with after the events of Justice League issue 75, where the Justice League is wiped out by the Great Darkness. Not to be confused with the darkness from Kingdom Hearts. That's the darkness. This is just the Great Darkness. There's a difference. Nightwing holds a memorial, a vigil for the fallen members of the Justice League, and it's a really great, tender moment, which is undercut in pretty much every other story, pointing out that no one seems that, the heroes don't really care, because they'll probably be brought back. Nightwing's like, yeah, he's died, he's been brought back before, and, we'll do it. Weeks later, though, the supervillain community is having a field day. Cobra is busy doing their thing. I thought they were wiped out in Leviathan. Whatever. Pretty much every supervillain and supervillain team is stirring up the pot. It's like, we're going to run this town tonight. There you go. And someone's following them around. And we see the super community really just sort of thrown off, really trying to just keep up as best they can. But right now, there's no sense of unity. There's no leadership. There's no focal point for the super community to rally behind. So they're kind of in tatters. And even when Hal Jordan shows up and gets the rundown, because he didn't know, he was off in space, Black Adam says, he's pretty sure the League's dead, because he saw them pretty much get the Thanos snap. They, disintegrate, except we saw them go from, flesh, from, skin, to muscle, to bone, and even that disintegrated, so they're dead. Well, they'll be back soon. We all know they will. But in exchange, the Great Darkness is also pushed back, too, so there's that. And Hal Jordan's like, do you really trust him? So anyway, they ask everyone else. Dr. Fate's checking the cosmic spheres, yeah, I got nothing. The Atoms are yeah, we checked the microverse, nothing there. The DEO is yeah, got nothing. Snart, who apparently is important, no, we got nothing either. Oh, Suicide Squad, of course. And Hal's okay, look, I gotta go off into space and do Hal Jordan stuff, because this isn't my story. This is yours, the new generations. You guys gotta find a way to help unite everyone. John stares at the statues of, the Trinity, Superman, Batman, was oh, that's what I gotta do. I gotta make a Justice League. So he goes around, flies to South America, meets Yara Flor, whose book was sadly canceled early, and I did not care to read Trial of the Amazon, so I have no idea what she's doing. But John's like, so what I want to do is I want to rebuild the Justice League, and I want you to take the role of the Wonder Woman here, because you're Wonder Girl. And she's like, no, I got stuff to do here. Also, Diane and I met for 5 minutes, so no. Meanwhile, then John goes to New York, where the Black Batman, I forget his name. I'm sorry. He's one of Lucius Fox's kids. Jace? Was it Jace? He's like, hey, I'm trying to assemble a new team. I need a Batman. He's like, no. Because last time Batman helped out Superman, he died. So, yeah. Get screwed. And, So he's like, fine, I'll ask a bunch of other people if they want to be on the Justice League. Dr. Light, look at all not rapey Dr. Light, Kimio. Swamp Thing says no. Harley says yeah. Joe Mullane says no. She's busy. Damon's like, yeah, screw it. No, he's in. Killer Frost's like, yeah, I'd like another chance to be in a Justice League book. Supergirl's like, oh, I just got back, but sure. Aqualad Man does it. One of the Flashes, I think, doesn't do it. Peacemaker's like, you know what? I have a series on HBO, I don't need this. Vixen's like, there are third world countries that need my help. Jaime Reyes is like, wait, you guys remembered me? I'm in. Firestorm like, I still remember what happened to Doomsday Clock. I can't do this. Naomi's like, I shouldn't have been in the Justice League to begin with, and the one I was in, everyone died, so no, I'm sitting this one out. Shazam's like, you sure you want to be hanging around Black Marvel? I don't feel comfortable hanging around Black Marvel, so he doesn't. Booster Gold will be like, we did just have a really good book. From what I heard the book was really good. Well, we should do it then, shouldn't we? Yeah, let's do it, bro. And they're in. I love it. And meanwhile, outside the Hall of Justice, someone actually points out that death is meaningless in the DC universe. Like, yeah, they've all come back. Like, Superman's died how many times? One, and he came back. It's fine. Batman died. Well, I mean, they don't know that he was traveling, sent back in time, but still. Hal Jordan died, came back. Green Arrow died and came back. Like, this is nothing. That was the whole event, Blackest Night, where all the dead superheroes came back to life, except Batman because he wasn't dead. But whatever. So anyway, they meet the new Black Adam's introduced the new team, which also includes Frankenstein, but again, Dr. Light. Hey girl. And Black Adam, I had to make this face the picture. He's like, what is this? What is this? First of all, can you really trust Dr. Light? She chose to carry the mantle of a man who is most famous for not only being a joke of the Teen Titans, aka a supervillain, but also for the RAPE of Sue Dibney. Killer Frost was on Suicide Squad for a bit. Harley Quinn cannot be trusted. Damian, you just know what he is right now. Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. Have we all forgotten what Booster Gold did? What he did in Batman? In The Gift? The only ones I trust right now, is Supergirl and Frankenstein. That's it. Actually, I also trust Dr. Light, but that's because Kimio. So I can't be trusted for that one. So this face is kind of appropriate. And meanwhile, at the Titans Academy, Dick Grayson's finally embracing his role as mentor, helping out. He's got them flying on the trapeze, because of course he does. And this is all interrupted when a bunch of supervillains say, we are killing teenagers today. And however old Dick, Raven, Starfire, Cyborg, and Babs are, however old they are, we're killing them too. And they sort of point out that, the Teen Titans' greatest asset was the Justice League, because if they ever gotten over their heads, the League would come right by and help them out. Debatable, depending on who you ask. But either way, wars are coming. We're going in. And, holy crap, is that Crazy Quilt? Crazy Quilt's going in. This is crazy. And is that the Batplane? I don't even know what's going on anymore. And, Deathstroke is here. Apparently he does some really interesting stuff in, the Shadow War? The Shadow War, and he was, killed, but not killed. I don't know. I barely read that story. I skipped, issues, so I didn't want to buy Deathstroke Incorporated. I was only reading it when it came into books I was already reading. And, they killed Beast Boy. Garfield is dead. Garth is dead. Whatever his name is, he is dead. And this is all part. Apparently, Dr. Pariah is like, this is all part of the plan. I will use the death of the Justice League to destroy the multiverse. And that's how the comic ends. overall, Dark Crisis issue 1 was much better than the previous setup issues that came before it. I'm invested, sort of. There's a great atmosphere to that whole Vigil thing. Really great. The statues are great. I'm seeing the superhero community kind of directionless and leaderless without Justice League makes sense. It's weird that Batman didn't have a reserve, because there was a story where something like this did happen, and Batman's like, I have a backup team set in case we can't be there, right? Because I'm Batman. I have plans for this. So it's weird that didn't happen. More than likely, that plan did happen. Dick Grayson just didn't want to do it, because he's Dick Grayson now, and Dick Grayson always wants to be difficult, even when he doesn't want to admit it. But also because the story wants these new heroes. They want John Kent. They want Yara Flor. They want Joe Boulain. They want Tim Fox, who's the Jace Fox. They want the other guy. They want the new Flash. They want them to be this new Justice League. And apparently this new team that's been created now is just a placeholder for when those ones show back in, as we saw in Future State. So the question is, why should we care about that? This 7-issue series has a couple of tie-ins. I'm going to pick up a couple of them. The ones that sound interesting. The Young Justice one definitely does, but overall, I'm just going to stick to the main story. So anyway, with that in mind, if you're new to the Bucket Think Tank, feel like, comment, share, subscribe, check out some of my videos, and I'll catch you all later. This is Bucket Think Tank signing off. Thanks for watching. As always, may your fandom serve you well.